The leaders of the newly formed alliance can still rely on the unwavering support of their respective populations. Some citizens of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are still unhappy about how the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, treated their countries. They say they will never forget the suffering caused by sanctions slapped by ECOWAS.
I welcome the decision by our leaders to withdraw from ECOWAS. The division came because our leaders and those of ECOWAS no longer agree on some very important points. For example, our economies are weakened, the cost of transportation has increased, and life has become much more expensive. But this is also the price to pay for our freedom.
I really believe that the countries of the AES would discuss with those of ECOWAS to come back on the common ideas that had united them. But if ECOWAS is not free to make its decision, as our leaders say, then there is a big problem.
We have seen blocs like the European Union or the United States of America, which were formed on solid foundations where all parties respected their commitments. But regarding ECOWAS, we always hear speeches, but nothing concrete. So it was time for us to leave this organization.
The current standoff between ECOWAS and the three members of Alliance of Sahel States could result in the suspension of free movement in the sub-region for their nationals. This could force citizens of the AES member states to obtain a visa in order to travel to member countries of the West African Organization. People living in the cities of Bamako, Niamey, as well as Ouagadougou have mixed reaction to these developments.
The citizens of the AES will not be the only ones to be obliged to have a visa to travel. Those from ECOWAS will also need a visa to travel to AES countries. It will be a matter of reciprocity.
If ECOWAS imposes a visa on AES nationals, it could cause a lot of difficulties for all of those AES citizens who live or travel regularly in the West African space.
The consequences of this withdrawal are numerous and deplorable. In Niger, most of the food we eat does not come from Mali or Burkina Faso. It comes from several countries that are still members of ECOWAS.
It's the first time in the bloc's nearly 50-year history that it has lost members in such a manner, bringing to the fore questions about the foundations, stability, and future of regional blocs in Africa. The key issue now is whether the young Senegalese president appointed to mediate in the ECOWAS-AES crisis will succeed in convincing the three military leaders of the Sahel countries to rejoin the bloc. Desiree Cannon, CGTN.